You're welcome.
Thank you. So can I have your name, age, and your country?
My name is Richard Lee, and I am 42, and I moved here from the U.S.
Okay. Nice. What state are you from?
I am from Virginia, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said you moved here, right? So how long have you been living here now?
Oh, I've been in Japan for 10 years.
10 years
Yeah,
now.
I moved here from New York.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
10 years ago.
So you're not sightseeing today?
I am not sightseeing. I was actually going to just stroll through the park and check out Meiji Jingu, like the forest.
Yeah.
Normally go there to kind of like walk around and kind of, I don't know, sort of relax from the city.
Right.
Yeah.
How often do you come to Meiji Jingu?
I actually live in Kitasando.
Yes.
So I go to Meiji Jingu Forest maybe 3 times a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you come to Japan?
That's a good question. I think the immediate cause was I moved here for a girl. So my ex-girlfriend, I met her in New York City, and she got a job working for SoftBank here.
Okay.
So she decided to come back.
Yeah.
She asked me to come. At first I was like, no, but maybe 6 months later I was a little bit bored in New York, and I was planning on going to grad school, so I thought I'd come here for a year and then go to back to New York or Shanghai for grad school.
Yeah.
And I came here and I just sort of, fell out of love with her and in love with the city.
Okay, so you came for love, but then you started to love Japan. Tell me, before you came, were you interested in Japan?
Before I came, I went to Parsons in New York City.
Yes.
And there are...
What is Parsons?
Parsons is like Parsons School of Design. It's probably like the second best art school in the world. Studied photography there. And people come to study there from all over Asia.
Yes.
So I had 3 friends that were from Japan. One friend who would love Tokyo.
Okay.
So they kind of planted seeds in my head.
Yes.
And then when I graduated, I worked for a photographer who used to shoot for Japanese Vogue.
Okay.
And there was a creative director named Gene Krell who would come from Tokyo to New York during Fashion Week.
Yes.
And we'd shoot, a bunch of editorial for Japanese Vogue. So I'd see him during Fashion Week probably 3 or 4 times.
Yes.
And he was probably one of the most interesting people I've met in the world.
Yes.
And he told me that Tokyo was amazing.
Yes.
So he kind of planted another seed in my head. Really into Japanese culture.
Yeah.
He came here for 3 months, and when he came back, he was like, dude, you've gotta go.
So all these people are telling you gotta go, you're gonna love Japan.
Yeah.
What were your first impression when you got here?
One of the things that I really thought was amazing when I came here is I love the culture in Shibuya.
Okay.
I love the different kind of tribes of kids. And I think when I came here, it was really kind of like before Instagram was really popular. So kids weren't dressing up for likes. They're really just dressing up to express their individuality.
Okay.
So I really loved how intense people were here. I loved the culture and how individualistic people were.
But you were in New York, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so New York is a fashion cap, Lower East Side and Shibuya when it comes to the fashion, because you were impressed by the fashion here.
I think in New York, people are more kind of chic and kind of cool.
Yeah.
Whereas here in Japan, you see a lot of people who are kind of cool, who are kind of kakoi, but then you also see people who are really quirky.
Okay.
You'll have someone with elf ears on or something. Whereas in New York, people are just kind of cool.
Just cool.
Here there's a range with how people express their individuality. You'll see someone dressed up like a cat.
Yes.
And in New York, that's crazy.
It's impossible. Places that impress you in Japan for sightseeing, for example.
For sightseeing, you know what I really love? I went to Kyoto.
Yes.
I thought Kyoto was amazing. It really feels like you're in another era. It was really kind of wow, I'm in Japan.
Yeah.
I think in terms of not really sightseeing, but in terms of feeling, I like Okinawa. It kind of feels like the Jamaica of Japan.
Jamaica.
Yeah,
Japan.
people are kind of super laid back.
Yeah.
And I remember going there for work, and like one of the clients was late, and the people from the advertising agency I was working with were not even, upset.
Right.
Like they were kind of like, oh, laid back. Whereas here, dudes are like tight. I like going to onsens.
Okay.
The girlfriend I mentioned before, her family owned onsen, so she was kind of like a onsen otaku.
Okay.
So while we were dating, we would just travel to many different onsens.
Yes.
So I would say I love going to onsens.
What was one of, in the U.S., is there an onsen?
Culture, bathhouse culture, but that's a little bit
So
different.
tell Pam when it comes to the bathhouse versus the onsen culture.
I think in the U.S., when you think of like a bathhouse, you think it's kind of, like hentai.
Okay.
It's a little bit like it's more sexual.
Okay. Okay.
And then here it's just kind of like relaxing, and it's more like health oriented.
Okay.
And it's I think in the U.S. in terms of nudity.
Yes.
A lot of people view being nude as being sexual.
Yes.
Whereas here in Japan, you can go to the onsen and people are just nude.
Yes.
And it's just like you're in the water.
So for you, like the first time when you were with the girl and you went to the onsen in Japan, how did you feel?
Oh,
you were naked.
We had to go to separate rooms.
Yeah.
So I went to a room with just men, and she went to one just women. And to be honest with you, I felt a little bit uncomfortable because, I'm like this 6'3" black dude.
Yeah.
Walking into a room of naked men who don't look like me.
Right.
So I felt like people were kind of staring at me.
Yeah.
I went in there and I didn't know where the towels were.
Okay.
So I'm in the onsen. I take a bath or shower.
Yes.
And then I get in the water and I'm looking around. Everybody has a little towel and I don't have a towel, so I feel really uncomfortable. Go in the water, it gets kind of hot. I'm like, okay, it's time to get out.
Yeah.
Take the shower, I go out, and I need a towel to dry. And I had to go up to this person. I'm completely naked. And I was like, I think I just moved here, so my Japanese level was quite low. I was like, towel wa doko desu ka? And the guy was like, it's in your room. So my first experience was a little bit funny and embarrassing because I didn't really know the rules.
Yeah.
But now I totally feel comfortable.
You feel comfortable now?
It's totally relaxing. I just kind of go and I don't even think of it.
Time.
And I've actually gone with people from the U.S. too.
Yeah.
And we're totally fine with it. Whereas in the U.S.
What do you say to convince them to take the chance and go to the hot spring?
I let them know that first, it's an amazing experience.
Yeah.
It's super relaxing. And no one is going to really stare at you openly. If you're uncomfortable about being nude, no one's going to make you feel uncomfortable. People here are very kind, and they respect your space.
Yeah.
So let them know that, it's going to feel amazing, and no one's really going to bother you.
Yeah.
And actually,
speak a little bit of Japanese right there. Very good.
Skoshi hanashi.
Yeah, skoshi. Can you introduce yourself in Japanese?
Okay. はじめまして、リチャードです。ニューヨークから来ました。僕は42歳です。僕は写真家です。日本大好き。日本人はすごい優しい。And Shibuya wa sugoi omoshiroi.
Oh, amazing Japanese right there.
Thanks.
Almost fluent, man, right there. You got it?
A little bit.
You got it. You got it. You did really well. All right, I have a question for you. Tell me, when it comes to Japanese food, what's your favorite?
My favorite food right now is I love sushi. I love sashimi.
Yes.
I really love fatty tuna, otolo. And lately I've been eating like kind of weird stuff. Not weird stuff, but like okonomiyaki.
Okay.
I got this takoyaki place that I like to go to.
When the friends come to visit, where do you take them first?
When the friends come to visit, where do I take them first? I usually take them to get some ramen first.
Okay.
Because for some reason, that's what they think is Japanese food.
Yeah.
So usually it's like ramen. There's a place in Harajuku that has really good udon that I go to. and I can't pronounce the name of the place. I think it's called Minurashi or something like that. But that place has amazing udon, so I take them there.
Yeah.
Sometimes they want to go to like robot sushi.
Yeah.
So there's like and there's like amazing food.
Yeah.
And what I like about living here is people will take something they love and like perfect it. So sometimes I'll take a friend to like a hamburger place.
Yeah.
Or a pizza place.
Yes.
And they're like, why are we going to get pizza in Japan? And then when they have it, they're like, dude, this is the best pizza I've ever had in my life, or this is the best hamburger that I've ever had in my life. Because maybe the guy who makes the hamburger knows like a bread otaku and another person who loves meat, and they combine all these people who love these very specific things into one kind of amazing thing.
Okay, so you're saying that sometimes the Japanese restaurants and chefs can take the foreign food and like innovate it into something better.
That makes it amazing. Yeah. Like next level.
Right.
Like you're like.
Souvenirs do you take back?
When I go back, I usually take, my brother usually asks for whiskey.
Okay.
And maybe his wife will take her like some kind of cute bottle of sake, or sometimes there's like Japan exclusives here.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you go to Starbucks, they have cups that they only sell in Japan. So I'll try to take them something that they can only really get here.
Yeah.
And also something that's kind of familiar to them.
Yeah.
But there's a Japan exclusive.
Okay. Okay. Very cool. I got one last question. You've been living here for such a long time now. Is there anything that you would bring to the U.S., like as far as culture, lifestyle, food, whatever? So it can be the air, it can be the transportation, whatever. Is there anything that you think that the U.S. would benefit from having that's from Japan?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is this place is very organized. The infrastructure is excellent. Like a train comes on time. If it doesn't come on time, they give you a reason why. Like there's a strong sense of order and harmony here. And I feel like people really respect, I think it's called wa. It's like a wa culture. People really respect everyone else's space.
Yeah.
Unless you're on the Yamanote line at like 7 a.m. But I like the sense of order here.
Okay, okay.
And I like the sense of people paying attention to detail.
Yes.
And really caring about small little things.
Yes.
And they make the whole just flow much better.
Yes.
So I would bring that to the U.S.
Sounds great. All right, well, Richard, thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.